Hello and good evening from St. Louis Park High School. I'm Bruce Oberman along with Greg Thurston. And it's a Metro West matchup between the St. Louis Park Orioles and the Cooper Hawks. For the St. Louis Park Orioles, they come into this game actually at 12-4, and for the Cooper Hawks, they are 10-1. So should be a good matchup, Greg. Both these teams have had a really good season to start so far.
Yeah, they have a lot in common, these teams. They got a senior leader, and they have a lot of young players that really run and scrap. So it should be a really good game.
Yeah, St. Louis Park is a very young team, and Cooper also is a young team. So only one senior starting in both lineups, which is a great thing for both teams as they try and grow the programs. And starting lineup for the St. Louis Park Orioles will be number 1, Michael Howard, a 6'2" junior, averaging about 10 points per game. Number 5, Kyrie Mayfield, a 5'9" sophomore, 12.6 points per game. Number 15, Josiah Morrow. He's a 6'1" junior, averaging 8.3 points per game. Number 25, Ray Whitlock, the only senior on the team. He averages 13 points per game. And number 51, Ryan Dahmers, 6'4" junior, averaging 11 points per game. And for the Cooper Hawks, it'd be number 2, Devin Mosby. He's a 6'1" junior, averaging 6.8 points per game. Number 3, Bijan Newbern. He's 6'2", sophomore, averaging 17.3 points per game. Number 13, Damian Gordon. He's a 6'4" junior. He averages 5 points per game. Number 22, Nathan Hill, the 5'11" sophomore, averaging 13.5 points per game. And number 23, Melvin Newbern. He averages 17.3 points per game. Sort of funny how both brothers averaging 17.3 points per game.
Yeah, they got a senior and a sophomore, and one shoots from the outside and the other goes to the basket. So it's, like I said, it's going to be a good matchup here. Both teams are real hot. When the ball goes up, who the more aggressive team is, I think, is going to win.
Dave Breitenbucher, the head coach of the St. Louis Park Orioles, and Broderick Powell, and they call him Bo Powell. Greg informed me, is head coach of the Cooper Hawks, and Bo came from Park Center.
Yeah, this is his first year at Cooper. He was Park Center, and he had to stop coaching at Park Center because he got a job in a different teaching area, so he sat out 1 year, but he's back. He's big in the AAU programs. I think he's the president of the AAU basketball in Minnesota, in fact. So.
And Greg, a graduate here from St. Louis Park, and very involved in the Cooper area. You have kids that go to Cooper? And
yes, I have a senior and actually an 8th grader, but he wrestles at Cooper on the varsity team. So I am at Cooper a lot, so yes, I know.
And you're doing some coaching over there?
Yes, we do some coaching too. I coach some 11th and 12th graders that guys that get cut off of Cooper and Armstrong. There's a lot of kids that go out for basketball, so I help out and coach one of the teams for that too. So it keeps us busy.
Well, Cooper coming off a 71-23 victory over Kennedy. For Cooper, they started off with their first loss of the season against Armstrong, and then they've gone on a 10-game winning streak. For St. Louis Park, they came off a nice victory over Benilde, 85-75. Tip control by Cooper. Number 22 is Hill.
If I was St. Louis Park, I'd try to make Cooper stay on the outside as much as possible. They love to slash to the basket. It's easier said than done, though, against a team that's got 5 quick players out there. Trying
to pass it across, goes out of bounds. Last touch by Bijan Newbern, and it'll be St. Louis Park's basketball here. St. Louis Park, if you just joined us in the black uniforms. Both teams sort of the same colors, but Cooper in the white orange. Quick drive, and a nice tip in. So Dahmers with the first shot and the follow-up by Josiah Morrow, and the Orioles with a 2-0 lead here.
Each team being a little cautious early in the game, that's okay. You don't want to let the other team get out on a run real early.
Hill, jump shot good, so Cooper ties it up.
That's one of the sophomores for Cooper.
See the Orioles get down quickly. And the pass stolen away. Long cross-court pass. Newbern. Bijan. Basket won't go, but a foul called on the St. Louis Park Orioles. So they pick up their first foul of the game.
If you notice on this replay, he's shooting it with his right hand. He's left-handed. He shoots both hands around the basket, which really helps you in high school. I've seen him score a lot of points by people diving at the wrong hand when he shoots the opposite hand.
So Bijan with the second free throw attempt, and that one misses everything. So it'll be St. Louis Park's ball.
Might have to shoot his free throws right-handed next time.
Well, you hear the air ball chant. This is something that's not going to be allowed in Wisconsin anymore. So.
First thing I took names of who did that. Yes.
A lot of controversy on that subject.
Yes.
Good pressure put on by the Hawks. Howard into the front court. Morrow loses the basketball. Had it tipped and a foul. Orioles real close to over and back that time, but the foul called on Bijan Newburn.
Yeah, if this pressure works like this right away, you know they're just going to clamp it on a little more each as we go along. So St. Louis Park should try to get in their offense as quick as possible here.
Kyrie Mayfield lost the basketball, got it back. It's Howard and now Whitlock. Whitlock with 19 points in the last game played.
Good floor space by St. Louis Park. And that could be the second on Bijan, which would be...
So reach-in foul called on the Hawks.
Oh, no, they didn't call it on him. Oh, pro refereeing there, call it on the other guy. Keep him out of foul trouble. That's okay.
So Nathan Hill picking up the foul. Second team foul for the Hawks. Cross-court pass. This is Whitlock for three, off the mark. Kyrie Mayfield gets the rebound. Brings it back up top.
As you were saying, talking to the coaches, that rebounding is important. When the team spreads out like this, those rebounds come a lot farther out, and it's tough to box out. So offensive rebounding will be a key tonight.
You see the quick hands, too, by Cooper, and what that did was cause a turnover. St. Louis Park unable to get that pass completed into the inside, and now the Hawks have it, tied in a 2-2 game. Nice pass inside. So Melvin Newburn gets his first 2 points of the game. Morrow.
See, that's what the pressure does, is to speed you up a little bit.
Well, that time, too, Morrow left his feet, and you don't want to leave your feet like that and pass a little bit too far behind Dahmers.
Yeah, it is a change. Now, you don't see many teams put pressure on the whole game like this, so St. Louis Park is going to have to learn to cope with it pretty fast.
One thing about the Orioles, they have a pretty good bench, and they do go deep. They'll play 9 players, and Richard Green has entered the game, replacing Morrow. Maybe give the Orioles a little bit more speed here. Dahmers gets the ball in the turnover. It's another turnover.
It seems like they're not used to this ball pressure. They put pressure on the ball. That's what Bo Powell's teams did at Park Center, and that's what they're doing with Cooper. And if they don't, then someone else will come off that bench and put pressure on the ball. That's what he wants.
Well, St. Louis Park typically a very quick moving team, very patient, but again, with this fast Cooper team, can't have too many passes. That was a good fast break, and Michael Howard.
If it's open, though, you have to take it, too. So.
Howard had 13 points in the second half against the Red Knights. 3-point shot off the mark. Rebound pulled down by Green. Dahmers having problems getting that basketball. Now he gets it back up top. This is Green. He's takes it down the lane. And really didn't have much of a shot there as Damian Gordon had great position. Quickly on the fast break, the miss by Hill, and the Orioles come back down. Spin move by Howard. Nice pass and a good finish. That was a nice play by the Orioles, I think.
I think we said it was going to be up and down, and so far we're not too far from the truth.
6-4 St. Louis Park Oriole leads. Hill had it stripped. And a battle for the basketball, and we're going to get a foul.
I think they called the foul.
This one on Green, I think.
I think so, but there's four guys.
That's one where you'd like to see him just let him play.
Yeah, if everyone went to the floor, I don't.
Second team foul for the Orioles. Hill had it stolen away by Green, who stepped in front of the lane. 2-on-1. Howard.
I think he kind of dropped it as he shot.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Mosby had the defense, and here's the dunk by Melvin Newbern.
Melvin's going to
again. You can see the transition by Cooper.
Melvin's going to Winona State to play basketball with Sam Baker from Benilde, so they should have a pretty good recruiting class there.
Then again, stepping in front of the lane is Gordon. Orioles with another turnover, and they're going to look to bring in another player here. I think Joey Whitlock will be coming into the game for the Orioles. Hill drives the lane. Foul called on the Orioles. This could be Whitlock. And for Whitlock, that's his first foul. So Joey Whitlock comes into the game for the Orioles, and Jalen Miller for the Hawks.
Jalen Miller's a freshman, and I think both coaches realize this is going to be a high-tempo game, and they better get some subs in there so everyone can be around for the last part of the game.
Newbern, jump shot doesn't go. Nice rebound. Melvin did a great job getting position after the following up on his shot, and the foul again called on the Orioles.
Well, he got up real high off the ground there. A nice defensive play just to let him get a side out.
Orioles got in foul trouble against the Red Knights, and here Richard Green has 2 quick fouls. Still for the Orioles, this is going to be Kyrie Mayfield. And that's the strength of Mayfield's game, is he's a finisher. He likes to get down quickly on the fast break, and we've seen a number of fast break baskets by Kyrie over the last couple games.
Yeah, easy baskets are going to be a key tonight.
Ante Burns also in the game, number 14 for Cooper. That's a nice move, but the Orioles get the ball in the turnover. So Green draws the foul. This one called on the Hawks. Ante Burns called for the foul. 3rd team foul for the Cooper Hawks. You see the replay here.
Yeah, we're 6 minutes in the game, and I think we've seen about 17 or 18 players.
Right, and that's what St. Louis Park has done quite a bit so far this season. Jack Lynch has come into the game now for the Orioles. A couple of free throws by Green. Orioles up by 4. This is Newbern. Inside, stolen away by Kyrie Mayfield, stayed in bounds. 2-on-1, nice pass, and the finish by Lynch.
Park's really taking
Step on a nice play by Green.
Yeah, Cooper's not getting back on defense, so St. Louis Park is taking advantage of it. They're running a nice fast break.
Newbern up top. Burns drives in, and a foul is going to be called on Kyrie Mayfield. So St. Louis Park now picks up their 5th foul of the game. That pass intended for Bijan, just too far. Kyrie Mayfield did a good job to start the Orioles on the fast break.
Yep, a couple nice passes, get him an easy basket.
Kyrie Mayfield picking up his 2nd foul. And Ante Burns with the first free throw. Michael Howard will come back into the game for the Orioles. Isaiah Gordon, number 30 in the game now for the Hawks. Long pass. Lynch couldn't handle it.
All of St. Louis Park turnovers has been when Cooper's had a chance to set up that press. So I definitely would think that Park should keep out and keep running.
A little short on that one by Newbern. Quick break by the Orioles. Nice move by Whitlock. Was able to move that ball while he's in the air, and well, there's a charge going to be called on Bizon. That's his second foul of the game. Trying to do a little too much that time.
Yep, there's a difference between being aggressive and being out of control, and sometimes it's real close.
So that's going to bring Nathan Hill back into the game for the Hawks.
That was his second foul, too, and he's one of the leaders for Park.
14-8, Orioles up by 6. Whitlock. Orioles now up by 8. Here's Newbern in the front court. He's guarded by Whitlock. Off to the right side. Hill takes it in the lane, and so the fans wanted a jump ball, but foul called on the Orioles. That'll send Hill to the line.
Let's take a look at the replay on that. I think there might have been some body contact, but the swipe down usually gets you in trouble even if you don't touch any of the body. It makes it look like you're touching the body.
So that's number 2 on Whitlock, who's it's going to be, if Whitlock has to come out, that's going to be a big loss for the Orioles. For their last 4 points. The Hawks now 2 for 5 from the free throw line. So a pair of missed free throws and a foul going to be called on the Hawks now. The Orioles had, well, maybe not.
That was actually a nice quick move there by Gordon. He kind of had a push off on the, right up the free throw. Good hustle.
So that's Anderson who just come into the game picking up the foul for the Orioles. Cooper already in the bonus, but they missed the front end of the 1-and-1. Morrow will get the rebound, and last touch by Newbern. Greg, the Hawks have had some problems from the free throw line.
Yeah, they. I don't think they've made one yet, have they? St. Louis Park really works it around good. You see more passes and dribbles, you know you're probably going to get a good shot at the end of it.
Joey Whitlock in the game now for the Orioles. Green takes it in. No foul call. A couple players down on the ground, and here comes Hawks back quickly. Hill. And Hill's going to get called for the charge.
Bodies on the floor every time on the court on both sides. This is gonna be
that's a case where Hill beat Anderson to the basket, but he kept going, lowered his body, and I think
he threw his shoulder into him instead of just going straight up with the shot. He wanted to clear out a little more room. But it's a split-second thing, too.
So that's the second foul on Hill. Anderson gets checked out. Make sure he doesn't have a concussion there. Dahmers comes back in, takes it along the baseline. That one just rolls out. Look at the 3 Orioles there to rebound, and Michael Howard hits the basket. The Orioles crashing the boards that time. They lead by 10.
Yeah, remember, offensive rebounding is put them in this lead. Let's see if they keep them on it.
Newbern backs his way in. Off balance, passes out. Here's a 3 put up. Off the mark. That was number 15, Miller. And the Orioles. Mayfield to Howard. Howard dishes off. Here's Whitlock, hits the 3. Well, Joey Whitlock has struggled from that spot last couple games, but that time he hits the 3, and the Orioles with a 13-point lead over the Cooper Hawks.
Yeah, the St. Louis Park is playing really good right now. They just got to keep riding the momentum. Still, we've only played 8 minutes though, and 21 points. That's a pretty good total for if they continue that pace the whole game. And they're both in the bonus. Cooper, their games that I've seen, a lot of fouls. So.
The last game when St. Louis Park did play Benilde, they had a pretty big lead most of the game. They were up by 11 in the second half, 12, and all of a sudden the Red Knights cut it to 2 with about 5 or 6 minutes to go. And St. Louis Park then went on a 9-0 run, and that happened in the course of about a minute and a half that they scored 9 points. So they can score in bunches, and as can Cooper too. So
yeah, it's not over yet. St. Louis Park's off to a good start, but now they got to play the second part of the game is before halftime here, and hopefully players won't get too tired here as the game has been a really
Cooper up
pace game so far.
Sorry, Greg. Cooper up top of the Metro West standings with a 3-0 record. Chaska and St. Louis Park have a 3-1 record, tied for second. Then the Red Knights and Jefferson are 2-2. Chanhassen 1-2. Richfield 1-3, and Bloomington Kennedy is 0-4. Again, Cooper with Bijan Newbern on the bench with 2 fouls. Or is he back in there?
No, he's out. Oh, bad pass.
That was a bad pass and a foul, what they call it, on Hill, and that's number 3 for Nathan Hill. And Nathan Hill, a big part of this team because he typically is a guy that brings the ball up the court, and well, they call it, bouncer said second, but I have it 3.
It says 3 on the board, huh?
And I can't believe he's still in that game.
Yeah, with 3 fouls in the first half, that doesn't seem right. He's one of the
Well,
leading.
if you're the Orioles, you got to go after him. There you go.
They did go after him. Looks like he might have got called a foul there.
Howard, now Mayfield. Takes it in. That was a wild shot by Mayfield. Long pass. Here's Hill, and he gets the roll. This is Mayfield. Doesn't go. Tipped by Howard. Not good. And here comes the fast break again for the Hawks. Oh.
What are we calling here?
Charging. No?
The St. Louis Park guys.
They call a foul, I think, reaching in before the charge.
Well, they're in the bonus, so he's shooting 1-1. But yeah, I think they called the reach in before the charge. Boy, a lot of action going on tonight at the old the basket.
You got 2 very athletic teams. So they're going to bring Ray Whitlock back with 2 fouls.
Brian Mayfield's coming in for Cooper. He's 5'6" for all you little guys out there. Don't give up. You can always make the varsity still at that height.
So Damian Gordon with the pair of free throws. Lead in single digits at 9, 21, 12.
Cooper stayed man-to-man the whole game. It's kind of surprising. Usually they change up defenses.
Dahmers had a nice move, but good job by Gordon not to pick up a foul that time. He held his position.
Oh, the scoreboard went out.
Right.
Somebody stepped on a cord.
Someone just stepped on the cord, yeah.
Nope, it's back on. So, well, it gets back on. Give the little players a little rest anyway. Yeah, this is going to be good for both teams, this nice, intense game that they're playing right now.
Is that a charge or not?
We haven't got a call yet. It looks like a
I don't know. He looked like he was holding his position. That's a tough one. I think Brighton Bucher's not happy about that one. As Dahmer's picking up.
I think the flail of the arms and
First foul.
I think he tried to sell it a little bit, but it looked like he was there in plenty of time.
Gordon is allowed for the Hawks. Jack Lynch.
When you played 11 minutes and there's 15 fouls, the referees aren't going to be perfect, I don't think.
And Gordon just hit 3 free throws in a row.
Cooper's going to the man-to-man press now. Best thing to do is just to clear out and let their ball handlers take it.
Whitlock short on that one. There's Gordon with the rebound, and here comes the Hawks. Closing the gap now, they're down by 7.
They're having 1 and 2 passes.
Nice still by Whitlock. And it's called for traveling. That time Whitlock probably should have taken it straight up and tried to make a move because he saw the defender closing quickly.
I think he saw Melvin's dunk a little earlier in the game and thought that definitely remembered that, I think. But yeah, it's tough in a game like this. I think the referee's got to stop calling fouls eventually here, so you don't want to be the one that it happens to. So maybe a head fake would have been good too.
Rebound taken out by Howard and a foul.
Call a delay of game warning. I have to get the rule book out here for pretty soon, Bruce. I think we've got one of everything so
I'm
far.
running out of room on my sheet. They're going deep on their bench.
Well, they have
Ryan
to.
Mayfield, little 5'6" player in the game too.
And we still haven't seen Phil Howard, who the Gophers recruited for football, and Tracy Clays is here to watch him. So far, sit on the bench, but he's going to have to play if we keep at this pace.
He may recruit players for football that are just because how tough they're playing in this game. It's a battle in there.
Yeah, it's for first place though, and it means something to these guys, and that's good. That's what you want to see.
Newbern's been fairly quiet. There's a 3 launch off the mark, and the Orioles with the rebound. That was Howard into the front court. Moore, watch this high arching shot. Doesn't go. What a great job that was a great job by Whitlock.
Great pass by Whitlock. He kept his head up and saw him underneath. Cooper didn't come back and cover up. Another steal.
This is Moore. He's got to get it to the wing, and he does. Whitlock. So 4 quick points for the Orioles, and now they're up by 13. We saw that lead just go down to 7. And how quickly the Orioles can bring it back up there.
Yeah, I think the key is just don't foul. Just play good defense, and you're getting your Cooper scoring all their points on free throws.
Cooper's missed some shots. They've been contested, and they missed some fairly badly. This is Howard. You saw the box out, but Cooper almost didn't get the basketball. Here's Newbern. And again, defense by the Orioles caused that shot to short.
The fans are going crazy over that call. I was over on the far end of the court and I didn't get a chance to see it, but the fans are not in agreement.
Is this Whitlock picking up his 3rd?
No, I think they called it out of bounds.
Okay.
So they'd be shooting, so.
Yeah, they took Whitlock out and Green back in. And Gordon with the basket for the Hawks. 11-point game, 27-16. We're down to 5 minutes left to go here in the first half.
Usually Cooper doesn't go inside, but they might have to get back into this game. Their outside shooting's not doing it tonight.
So Michael Howard will go to the free throw line on the foul by the Hawks. Mosby picking up the foul, his first foul. 8th team foul for the Cooper Hawks. So Howard in the 1-and-1, and we're going to have Anderson replacing Dahmers. Howard missing the free throw. He was 2 for 2 coming into that one, and now the Hawks down by 11, trying to get it into single digits. Here's Newbern on the drive, moves it out of bounds. Last touch by the Orioles, so the Hawks will get it back.
Melvin's got to take a breath and go back to the team there. He's kind of taking it on his own shoulders there. They got to start moving the ball. You see the balls. St. Louis Park's doing a lot better job of ball movement tonight.
There's a lot of action for Cooper to only have 16 points. It just seems like they've had a lot of. They've been down on that end of the court quite a bit.
They're shooting like that though, and that's not going to be good.
Yeah, that time Mosby way off the mark. That was a Ricky Rubio.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes. We've seen that before. And you can pick any gopher you want to.
Howard. Morrow. His shot is good. So Josiah with his 4th point of the game.
He's got a nice physical body, and he's not afraid to take it up, jump up there and get up to the top of his jump real easy.
Gordon off on that one. Green with the rebound. Again, Morrow on the break. 2-on-1. He takes it himself and finishes. Morrow had Anderson on the other side. Lucky to take it himself. Got the basket. Orioles get back quickly on defense.
Cooper is not getting back, and it's kind of surprising. That's not their style, but St. Louis Park is playing a good game. They got their heads up. Best way to beat the press is to beat it before it sets up.
This is Mayfield. Gordon. Inside Newbern. Contested. Basket going to count. Foul. We called on Anderson.
Basket's cleared by Melvin Newbern.
Well, they're calling it on Lynch, so that's his first foul.
Some of these fouls, I think they just kind of get over to the table and say somebody's number, because I didn't think that was on him either.
31-19 the score. Whitlock in for Morrow. Back to Whitlock. He'll take the 3 and the inside out game. Morrow back to Whitlock, who hit the 3. 15-point game again. Newbern on Lynch. Now Gordon. Guarded by Anderson. Takes it down the lane. Anderson with the block. Gordon gets it back. Up top, Mosby. Mosby. Off for Gordon. Pass. Expected a player to be breaking down in the corner. Not there. And a turnover again for the Hawks.
Just good ball pressure by St. Louis Park.
2:45 remaining in the first half. 15-point Oriole lead. They have the basketball. Mayfield. Here's Whitlock for 3, just off. Anderson couldn't get the rebound. Here comes the Hawks. And finished by Ante Burns. Did a good job not to get called for a charge that time and finish on the play. Here's Whitlock. Tough move. And a nice play by Eric Anderson.
Eric Anderson's having a real good first half. It helps when you get guys coming off the bench to help out like that.
So the Orioles able to answer. Fans chanting Eric. And we'll get a foul on the Orioles. So that foul call on Anderson, that's his second. Be a 2-shot foul. 10 fouls already by the Orioles, so I think we're over 10.
I think it's, yeah, and then some. It's a big 2 minutes for St. Louis Park here. They played a real good first half. You don't want to throw it away in the last 2 minutes.
One thing the Orioles did against Vanilla at this point, when they got down to the 2-minute mark and they had the same type of lead, they just tried to pass the ball and take time off the clock and try and keep that lead. But that was mostly because Vanilla was in the zone defense, and they're not going to do it here against this quick Cooper team.
Yeah, you know, they've got a 14-point lead, pushing it up, or 13-point lead. So they might as well
missing the 3. Here comes Whitlock. Nice pass across. That's just the case of these players playing together quite a bit over the years and knowing where each other is.
Yep, and it's also a case of Cooper not getting back on defense, too. There's 2-on-1s all the way down.
Nice pass inside. Mosby will finish it.
Kevin Mosby.
Minute 10 to go. 13-point lead for the Orioles. 38-25.
Here they go. Just take your time. Looks like it's almost a semi-delay. No one's really cutting for the basket.
So the same type of play. They bring it in, over to the elbow, and then back out.
Yep.
Whitlock. Now Mayfield with 28 seconds.
They got plenty of time.
5 seconds, so Mayfield.
Got to pass that ball. It's 5 seconds if you don't make a move towards the basket, and he was not making a move to the basket.
He was directing traffic, but he wasn't
Yeah, I think
moving.
he was. I got the headset on, but I think he was calling a play. They were getting ready to run their play probably with about 15 seconds left. Now Cooper's going to do it.
Newburn is cut off by Whitlock, and the three is good. That was Mosby. Here's Whitlock putting the three up.
Good half for St. Louis Park. They're still up by 10 points.
It's a good first half for the Orioles, but a little bit of a moral victory at the end for the Cooper Hawks.
Yeah, it definitely gives them something to think about. 10 points in this type of atmosphere and game isn't too much. 10 free throws away. If they ever
finishing with that three, trying to get a little momentum going into the locker room for the Hawks and stopping the Orioles who are trying to go for that last shot. That actually turns out to be like a 5-point swing.
Yeah, it could have been 15 points real easy there, the score, the way they're running their offense. But I hate when aggressive teams like that, they kind of slow it down with about a minute and a half. They probably would have went, maybe the last 30 seconds probably is a good time to slow it down.
You know, you watch this game and you think that both teams would be in the 40s just the way it's gone back and forth down the court. But we've seen a lot of turnovers, a lot of defensive pressure too.
Yeah, that defensive pressure, I don't think either team has really adapted to it, so that help. But I think the second half, if it settles down, we could see some higher scores.
All right, we're at halftime here from St. Louis Park. Our score of the St. Louis Park Orioles 38, the Cooper Hawks 28.
We all have a role to play here at Richard Petty Motorsports. We respect each other, work hard, and that helped us get the big win in Daytona. My partners in the U.S. Air Force also know that it takes a team to make each mission a success. Your coworkers, family, and friends are your team. Treat them with respect, and together you can accomplish great things. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
38-28 our score. We're at halftime. The Orioles the ball here to start the second half. Kyrie Mayfield. Nice pass inside. Morrow with the basket.
We have a foot fault.
Not the way the Hawks wanted to start the second half here.
No, you don't want to come out of the locker room stepping over the line and making little mistakes.
For the Hawks, it's Mosby, Newburn, Gordon, Hill, and Melvin Newburn. Kyrie Mayfield, they're short on that one. Newburn with the ball. He takes it all the way down the court. Stopped by Dahmers. The shot not good that time by Newburn. Bijan. And a foul on the Orioles.
Definitely.
That time, Cooper did a good job crashing the boards.
That was, yeah, they really crashed the boards. Both the Newburns were up. Oh, they called a foul.
Well, that's a big foul because that's Bijan Newburn getting the foul. I don't know if I saw that one. But,
I didn't either. I was kind of surprised. I thought he was shooting free throws, but that's the way it's called.
Bijan has sat out most of the game. He picked up 2 fouls early in the first half, and now he gets his 3rd here. So here's Josiah.
They had a good angle on that. That looked good from the time it came out of the ceiling.
They need the high clear height here in the gym for Josiah. It's still by Josiah. Here's Kyrie Mayfield and the foul on Nathan Hill. Now we're going to see if this is his 4th. Yep.
Yep, number 4.
So Kyrie Mayfield goes to the free throw line. And we're going to see Ante Burns coming in.
Ante Burns returns for the Hawks.
Ooh, they called a technical foul too on him as he was going out. That's not a good idea.
That's number 5.
Yeah, that's a personal foul too, so he's done.
Technical foul called on Nathan Hill.
So Mayfield misses the free throw.
Make their free throws, they can get a nice lead here. Just concentrate.
Kyrie, I think he needs people at the line. He's too lonely over there.
It got really quiet in here too.
They give him one more shot on the technical.
He's due. Maybe they're gonna. There we go. Now they get the ball too. So that was.
That's a really big. That's a big foul, and
yeah, we're on the other side of the court, but the coach.
Hill almost got a technical earlier, and I think the referees were not going to give him much leeway there. Dahmers with the 3. Newburn with the rebound. Newburn takes it himself. Doesn't go, and
got a pass.
a long pass. This is Josiah Morrow. Not good. Mayfield with the rebound.
St. Louis Park's got to settle.
It out.
Yeah, they got to settle down now. They're fine. They're up by 17 points. They don't have to score every 2 seconds.
Good. Oh, there's a. Oh no, they're going to call a blocking foul.
Yeah, looks like. Let's see what they got on.
This is Bijan.
That's his. Yeah.
That's his 4th, and that was a tough. He's got 2 tough calls against him. Let's take a look here. No, I can't see that one.
He took an elbow to the face too before the contact.
Bijan trying to understand what happened there.
I think he's taking an inventory of his teeth right now, and then he'll figure out why he got called to the foul.
Well, Josiah Morrow, sort of good sized player, come in.
Yeah, he's got a nice basketball body. I mean.
13 points in the game for Morrow. He's had a good game.
One thing they don't want to do. One thing they don't want to do now is get lazy, though.
Yeah, the Orioles don't need to push it as much as they are right now, but
it's kind of tough because it's working. And
right.
It kind of lulls
That's
you
right.
into that sense of security that you get. But
that's what we saw early on in the first half. We saw a lot of turnovers just because they're moving the ball so fast. There's going to be a foul on the Orioles. That's going to be on Whitlock, which is number 3 on Ray.
This game is no flow to it now with all these guys with the foul trouble that are the good players.
Gordon missed. There's a shot short by Newburn. Long pass for Whitlock. You see how quick Whitlock gets to the basket, and a foul. Basket will count. That time Whitlock put the burners on to get down there.
Yeah, he went under control though. He took the ball up. You got up way off the ground too. That helps on the release, and you got a chance for an end one.
Chance for a 20-point lead for the Orioles. They're at 19 right now. Whitlock missing the free throw. 11 in the game for Whitlock. Mosby can't get it to go. Here's Howard. Has more. Orioles just keep moving fast on the way.
Yeah, Cooper's not getting
for
down.
the speed that Cooper has, it's really surprising that the transition game is going so well for the St. Louis Park Orioles.
Yeah, that's their whole offense the second half so far.
Spin move, Ante.
Ante Burns.
Whitlock, this is Howard, and he's going to get called for travel.
Hawks ball.
You can see kind of little snippets of St. Louis Park getting out of control, but they've been kind of coming back to getting back into control. So hopefully
That's the thing too. They get out of control, but they're also moving so fast that they're scoring points quickly too. So
yeah,
you may turn it over a couple times, but you may get those fast points too. For the Hawks, they just need to start hitting some of these shots. They've not been able to hit their jump shots. There's another one missed by Newbern. Did a good job to follow it in. Couldn't get that one to go, and he'll go to the free throw line though.
Yeah, Cooper's been off stride the whole game. They're not just missing shots. They're missing by a mile some of these shots.
Josiah picking up his first foul for the St. Louis Park Orioles. Second team foul.
Melvin Newbern at the line for the Hawks.
Newbern with 7 points in the first half. It's a pair of free throws. Whitlock. That three was way off the mark that time by Kyrie Mayfield. 2-on-1 break.
Another charge. I think he was set on that one. That was a good call.
Good defense. Michael Howard. It's tough to take those charges, and that's going to be on Mosby, his third. Howard with a nice move. Wow.
That was a circus shot.
Coast to coast, Michael Howard. Gordon, basket and a foul.
Cooper's picked. I think they're done with the outside shot for the evening. I think they're just going to go to the basket now. They haven't had a lot of success for it. That was a nice slashing move. That's what they're known for.
Foul call on Mayfield. That's his third foul. That's going to bring Richard Green into the game. Actually, Mayfield remains in the game still. Missed free throw by Gordon. Cooper's 9 of 14 in the first half from the free throw line. Howard was just way off balance. The only thing he could do is just throw that wild shot up. Not a good play by the Orioles. And the miss on the other end.
That's a layup.
Michael
Howard with the basket.
Cooper's really not moving well, and they're just
This
settling.
is Jalen Justice missed a couple shots in a row now for Cooper, but we get a foul on the other end, the backside.
I think that's his first varsity game.
Green picks up his third foul, fourth team foul. So Cooper already has 6. St. Louis Park with 4 already here in the second half. And a jump ball. This one will go back to the Hawks on the alternate possession.
Jump ball, Hawks ball on the alternate possession.
55-35. Hawks coming into this game 10-1. Their only loss to a very good Armstrong team. A team that St. Louis Park also lost to. Nice move by Gordon. 11 points in the game for Gordon. Nice move. And a good follow-up by Green as he got the ball back and traveling. Didn't look like he had possession of the ball to travel.
That was, I don't know why he blew the whistle on that. Looked like just a play on, I don't know. Maybe he thought it was a jump ball, but it wasn't. Melvin dropped the ball. Looks like a travel on the replay either.
Hawks trying to get back in this game. They trail by 18. Newbern. Nice drive to the basket by Newbern. Finishes with the left-handed shot.
Definite plan was to keep running, so it looks like they're keeping up on it. That's what the halftime speech was, that they're doing it just that, and they're still getting good shots.
So Justice picks up his first foul. That's going to send Richard Green to the free throw line. Green 2 for 2 in the game. Orioles already in the bonus with 12:26 to go here in the second half.
Cooper, that's way too many fouls for Cooper if they want to. Against a good team, they'll just eat that up, all those 3 points. And you got the technical in there too.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point. Right now, it's going to be tough for Cooper without Bijan, Newbern, and Nathan Hill in the game.
Well, at this pace, they're going to have more players than that in their own to be able to play.
The three, a little short by Mosby. He did a good job to follow up, but lost the ball out of bounds, so St. Louis Park will get the ball.
Yep, the Cooper guys have had frustrated looks now since about halfway through the first half. So you just got to forget about
something,
it.
you know, they haven't been in this situation.
No, and St. Louis Park has played a good game. You got to hand it to them.
Whitlock. Pass, nice pass inside. Lynch has to finish that one, just a little too strong. Going along the baseline and a travel. Good job by Lynch to get back on the other end.
Cooper started out in the zone press, and they went to man-to-man press in the first half, and I don't think they've got a steal since.
Mayfield, nice move, and a block by Newbern. Oh, they called the foul.
I thought he was going to call goaltending almost play.
He got way up there. Look at this play. Good hustle by Newbern. And Mayfield made a great move to get down the lane. Missed another free throw. Kyrie now 2 of 5 from the free throw line. Two of 6. And now Howard gets ready to check in for the Orioles. Ante Burns with the basket. And here's Green.
Ante Burns is a good football player, and he,
that could have been a foul on
That was more of a foul than the last one.
Should have been a foul call, but Whitlock is able to score the basket for the Orioles.
They're starting to do the play on like they do in soccer, maybe.
Ante Burns. And they call it travel. Usually, typically, if a player doesn't get up like that and he's able to get rid of the ball, they don't call the travel. But
when there's multiple bodies on the floor, I've seen fouls and travels tonight. I think you just let them play.
You know, these refs are
if they're going to go down.
It's a tough game from the ref.
It is. We talked about that at halftime. How there's like a car crash every time down the court, but it's real tough
There's
on
a
these
travel.
plays. Yeah, every time down the court, there's something to call. So that was a travel. You could say he got pushed a little bit there. You could say he got pushed a little bit, but this is big-time high school basketball.
Howard. Tough move and good defense. But Howard got the ball back. Oh, look at that shot.
Leapfrogged them.
Well, Michael Howard could have got squished on that one, but he did a good job.
He could have went up and made contact, but I don't think he wanted any part of where he was so high up in the air.
There's Burns. This is sort of how we thought the game would go out from the beginning, just back and forth.
Yeah, well, the whistles kind of slowed down a little bit too, and I think that's helped. But
and a foul is going to be a 3-point.
He's shooting 3 foul shots.
I think 3, yep.
Yep.
So Joey Whitlock will go to the free throw line. The foul was called on number 14, Ante Burns. Number 2 for Burns. 60-43, 17-point game, and Whitlock for 3. Ryan Dahmer's in the game for Lynch.
Timeout, St. Louis Park.
Greg, I'll tell you one of the keys for the St. Louis Park Orioles is we saw them getting a little bit of foul trouble in the first half, but the fact that they can play 9 players made a big difference for this Orioles team because they haven't really lost a lot when they've had to sub.
No, I agree totally with it. I think that's been the key to the game is Cooper's subs have come in and they haven't played as well as St. Louis Park's at the beginning of the game. I think Cooper put pressure on when they went to their bench. They couldn't apply the same pressure, and St. Louis Park stayed in their offense. They stayed with what they were doing, and they came back out from halftime. It was only 10 points, remember. They came back out at halftime and became real aggressive to the basket, and they got Cooper in more foul trouble. They got more free throws, and they got more baskets. So I think they've played pretty well tonight.
St. Louis Park's next game will be Tuesday, January 19th. They'll be at Chanhassen. Then they come home for Friday, January 22nd against Chaska. We may be covering that one. Maybe giving you another call here, Greg.
The answering machine is always there. I'm free.
I think if you had, if I was a betting man and they said, would St. Louis Park be up by 20 with 10 minutes to go in this game, I would have thought there's no possibility. But they have played phenomenally well.
They've rebounded. Remember, rebounding we said was the key. I think took a timeout, and rebounding's the key. And I think they've rebounded really well, especially in the second half here. Cooper hasn't got many second shots at all.
Well, there's a case for one of the smallest players for St. Louis Park, in Joey Whitlock at 5'11", and he gets the rebound there and is able to call the timeout. Coach Breitenbucher's just done a really great job with this team this year, and he's been a phenomenal coach for the St. Louis Park Orioles, and they're lucky to have him. And again, this is, we mentioned, as a young team, so it's going to be fun to see the St. Louis Park Orioles again next year and what they can do.
Yeah, they got a lot of guys, like you said. I mean, everyone's an underclassman except for one seniors. That should be good. And it helps us playing together. There's nothing better than playing together, and they'll have another summer of doing that too.
Full court press put on by the Hawks. Bounce pass into Howard. Howard with the behind the back pass. That's just a
Great
phenomenal play by Michael Howard. This is sort of, he took, really picked things up in the second half against Benilde, and
when the court opens up, it definitely, they look for him, and he accepts that.
three-pointer. Just look at that. Only the second three-pointer for the Hawks. And the Hawks come back on the other end, and Howard's going to get called for the foul. Only the 5th foul for St. Louis Park, so Cooper will inbound this basketball.
Yep, they got, with the big lead, you don't want to put them in the bonus either. So just move your feet, box out, and you'll be fine.
Ante Burns is guarded by Whitlock. Takes it back up top. Here's Newbern. Greg, with 8:51 to go, I would think Bijan Newbern should be probably coming in any time here.
Yeah, he should be coming in. He's still playing around with his mouth. I think he took an elbow pretty square on his teeth, so he's playing with it. But I definitely, 19 points are behind. Yeah, get him back in there. No sense in bringing him back in if you're down 20 with 3 or 4 minutes left.
A couple quick fouls for the Orioles. So Dahmer's picking up his second foul. Burns was 4 for 4 up until that miss. Hawks can't afford to miss any of these free throws when they're trying to get back in this game. And a pair of misses, but a good rebound. Gordon, and he draws the foul. So I think will be on Joey Whitlock. Oh, they're going to call it on Michael Howard. So that's number 2 on Howard. And all of a sudden, the Orioles have gone from 4 fouls to 8 fouls.
I think we jinxed him.
Gordon at the line for the Hawks. Josiah Morrow returns.
Morrow in the game, replacing Howard. Gordon was 5 for 5 from the line, and he just missed his first free throw. St. Louis Park by 18. Dahmers back to Morrow. Had a block, out of bounds. St. Louis Park's ball.
St. Louis Park seems to want to run the ball, but that's fine. Take it out of bounds and take time off the clock and get a good shot. There's a good shot.
Nice inbound play, and Josiah Morrow with the basket. 17 points in the game for Morrow. One of the better games I've seen Josiah play this year.
He's playing real under control, and it's tough in a game like this to be under control.
Over the back of Dahmers is Newbern. That's a good hustle great play by Newbern. Orioles getting careless on the other end, so. In for Newbern. Up top, here's a 3. Off the mark, rebound by Green. Green looks to run. Whitlock. We have a foul. We're getting Bijan coming back in now, Greg.
Yeah, hopefully he can get into rhythm so everyone can see the type of player he is, because they haven't really had a chance to see it yet.
I remember years ago, Rashad Vaughn, when he came to play, I was all excited to watch Rashad play here. And he picked up 2 quick fouls. Then he came back in late in the half, picked up his 3rd foul. Then right in the first minute of the second half, picked up another foul. So he was out most of the game, and you didn't get to see Rashad much here.
Yeah, you feel kind of cheated when it happens, but it's better for St. Louis Park if he wasn't in there. I bet watching him play for a couple of years.
$13 points in the game for Whitlock. Back to a 20-point Oriole lead with 7:35 to go. Good pass for Gordon. Not sure what happened on that shot. Double team and we get a timeout.
Orioles, 30 seconds.
St. Louis Park's doing it right, though. They're not going to let Cooper hopefully get on a real run here. Just keep playing, just trying to stay even with them is all they have to do for 7 minutes.
Yeah, this is the St. Louis Park team that really struggled last year. Again, they had a young team last year, and it's hard to find those wins, get the wins on the board. And, you know, this has been a different year. Players have matured. They played a lot of summer ball and made a big difference.
They're a lot more athletic than they were last year. I know that. From the moment they get the rebound to the moment the ball goes to the basket is a lot faster. And if you're not on your game, they can run right past these guys and get on a nice run. That's what they did against Benilde and tonight Cooper. As two of the top teams in their division.
Kyrie Mayfield back into the game for the Orioles. He has the basketball. Now Morrow. Green takes it to the hoop. Basket and a foul. Not sure how that one got into the basket.
Not much art, but St. Louis Park tonight, they took it. I think he heard the whistle and shot it. She got left-handed even, I think. That was cool.
7th point of the game for Green. Green now 3 for 5 from the free throw line. Throws at their biggest lead at 22. Newbern on the rebound.
Boy, Melvin's playing really hard, even though the score is way out. You like to see that when players play. It makes you better.
Whitlock. And a good rebound. But almost a steal by Whitlock again. So Jalen Miller did a good job. Came down with the rebound, but on the outlet pass, he almost had it stolen by Whitlock. Miller for Newbern. Lost the ball out of bounds. It'll be Cooper's basketball. 6:14 to go. St. Louis Park leading 71-51.
It's going to be hard for Cooper to come back. You can see their confidence in their outside shot is probably down to 0 right now. They're getting open shots, but they're dribbling it into traffic just to try to get easier baskets.
Well, Bijan and Melvin averaged 17.3 points, and I'm sure Bijan looking at his box score at 0 right now, so he's probably saying, come on, give me the basketball. I got to catch up to my brother.
I think Melvin's taking the lead tonight.
Gordon at the line, shoot 1 plus the penalty.
Still, they're fouling way too much for a team that's ahead by 20 points.
And Damian Gordon has picked up some of the slack.
Mostly free throws, though.
13 points in the game for Damian. 7 of those from the charity stripe. Whitlock. Now Mayfield takes it to the hoop. Floater is good.
Gets way off the ground on those shots.
That running floater is a tough shot to master, and Kyrie did a good job on that one. Well, off the foot of Bijan. So Orioles basketball. A lot of times you'll see runs. You'll see teams coming back, inching back into it. St. Louis Park has done a good job preventing any Cooper runs here, Greg.
Yeah, that's really big. Just taking time off the clock and staying. That was too much dribbling. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Well, there's an intentional foul called on Green. Orioles did not need that at this point of the game. So
every time you say something proves the opposite. That's not using your head. That's 2 shots in the basketball. That could be 5 points. You're up by 20, let them dunk it, and you're up by 18 and you have the ball. You got to start using your heads here in high school because these games are going to get closer as they get towards the end of the season. They always do.
4th foul on Green.
Yeah, they took Green out. That was probably a good idea. You just don't do that. You never do it, but especially when you're up by 20 points, you never do it.
So Newbern making both of his free throws. Newbern with the 3. Is that 2 or?
I think they gave him 2 on that.
So 16-point game. As Morrow going in too strong that time. Orioles may need a timeout here. And a blocking foul called on the Orioles.
Yeah, they're.
The Orioles have used a number of timeouts in this game by not being able to inbound the ball. I don't know how many timeouts they have left, but they got to be careful here.
And you hate
Just
to.
after I mentioned they were holding Cooper off. Here comes Cooper.
Well, I mean, you said that like 20 seconds in game time, and now it's a 15-point game because of that one bad foul. We had a shot that he was a little out of control there, and I mean, it's just little things can add up really fast, especially at the end of the game. It seems like Cooper took a timeout here. We're going to see some hardcore pressure coming up.
And for the Orioles, that may be a good timeout to get their players regrouping a little bit here too. So. Next game for the Cooper Hawks will be Tuesday, January 19th. Chaska at Cooper. Then they go on the road to play Bloomington Jefferson, and then interesting game when they come back home against Hopkins. That one on January 26th. A couple tests for them there will be Hopkins and then at Benilde. You know, Benilde is always a tough team. Cooper did a great job when they played Benilde the first time. Since then, Benilde went on a little bit of a run. I think they won 6 in a row.
If you're going to be stuck in the section with Hopkins and Wayzata and Armstrong, you might as well play him to get used to it because you don't want to see him for the first time, I'll tell you that, in the region.
They need to put Hopkins in their own division. It's so tough for any of these teams. Although, you know, you have Wayzata as a tough team as well this year, Armstrong.
But Wayzata's been building this team playing together since like 4th, 5th grade, so they don't get to do that every year. So yeah, but Hopkins is big every year. Oh, he was fouling him all the way down the court there.
Both teams in the double bonus, so. Whitlock.
Burns is 4. Ray Whitlock at the line, shooting 2.
When it's 20 points, they miss a free throw, no big deal. But when there's 14, they all kind of look around like there's some problem. There's really not a problem if they just stay basic play, and he's got to put some mark on his shot.
And a rare pair of free throw misses by Whitlock. And here comes the Hawks. One thing the Hawks have done is they really haven't pushed it so hard where they've turned the ball over. They're still in their game plan.
Exclusively getting the Melvin down. Down to 12. There you go, good pass. See, we don't need a shot there, that's good. Good, spread out.
Orioles will take time off the clock, but they've got to be careful too that they don't get out of their flow. This is what happens. And Bijan with first 2 points of the game.
I told you Ante Burns played football, and that was a nice tackle there and fumble recovery.
So one-time 20-point Oriole lead is now at 10. You saw the Orioles could score in bunches, so can the Hawks. And Bijan picking up his 5th foul. Just after he scored his first 2 points of the game.
Yeah, he never got into the group tonight. Hopefully he'll learn. Fouls in the first half add up. When you get 2, it's not a good thing. That's why you get taken out.
So free throws important for St. Louis Park. Dahmers has not scored in this game.
Kind of nice when you know you're shooting 2 free throws instead of 1 and 1 too. It puts nice, gives you a little more comfort.
This is the second one. Three short, rebound by Whitlock. They look to push it. Morrow has it stolen. This is Gordon. And Gordon with the finish. Now 9. And Dahmers, and he's going to get a blocking foul. Very fortunate on that one.
St. Louis Park's got to figure out if they're taking time off the clock or if they're running one pass shoot offense right now. Looks like they're a little disjointed, and when they're up by 20, we said, every little bit, don't let them back in the game.
Yeah, that was one that was close. That could have gone either way because Dahmers.
Yeah, he was out of control, but I don't know if he got there in time or not. Still, it stops the clock, and Cooper doesn't mind that. Yeah, and the replay looks like he leaned her in pretty good there.
One and 2 again for Dahmers. Orioles slow getting back. And the basket by Jalen Miller.
Boy, that was a weird angled shot there.
8-point St. Louis Park lead. Dahmers takes it to the basket. Block. Gets it back. And a foul.
At that point, you got to make him make the free throws. He had him up off his feet.
Dahmers going hard to the basket. That was a nice play on the other end by Jalen Miller.
Yeah, that was a weird angled shot that we were at a good angle on. Nice touch. This is a freshman too. So
Dahmers has just missed 3 out of his last 4 free throws. It's an 8-point game. Still 2:31 to go. Plenty of time for the Hawks. That was a run I said we Orioles had avoided.
Yeah.
I opened my mouth too early. Here comes the Hawks. Newburn, jump shot, in and out. Rebound Orioles. And a foul. Cooper coach a little upset over on the sideline.
I think he may bring up the fact that there's been about 45 fouls called. That was a big miss by Melvin there. He had a nice look at it. It's tough when you're giving up 2 free throws each time. They're bound to make a couple.
Well, last game the Orioles saw Benil cut the lead down to 2 and the Orioles scored 9 points in a row. They were able to overcome that, but here they're missing another free throw.
It just looks like they're losing their confidence, and I don't know why they were playing so well there.
Boy, a pair of missed free throws by Michael Howard, who is now 2 of 5. So there's a 3, and it's good. Justice. A 6-point game.
St. Louis Park, you don't want to stop your dribble right there because you have the whole.
Thrown away by Gordon.
You have another defender at that half-court line if you can't go over. That's a bad place to stop your dribble.
The momentum is in Cooper's favor right now.
I don't know how many timeouts they have, but they might have to take one here.
Nice block. Here comes Howard, 2-on-1 break. Howard takes it himself. Big basket. Big play by Michael Howard.
Eight-point game.
Right back to 8 with 1:27 to go. Spin move. Ante Burns gets it to roll.
You know they're going to foul you, so just spread out. Make a good pass. Don't dribble too much. No, not that.
Michael Howard. Kyrie Mayfield.
Cooper looks just dead tired right now. Get to cutting it down, they've had to really use some energy.
Now Cooper's going to have to foul here. Good shot by the Orioles. And now the foul comes in. St. Louis Park had been missing their free throws. You got to foul. You had a little over a minute to go, and I would put them at the line.
I think they get into one of those things where foul number 5 or number 20, and then they don't touch the ball and they lose 15 seconds off the clock. You just got to foul somebody at this point.
Kyrie Mayfield. Kyrie Mayfield had missed his last 2. Gets one here. And those back up by 7.
St. Louis Park might have all their guards out there at one time here, so they're really going to hold on to the ball and hopefully dribble out the clock.
Big free throws by Kyrie Mayfield. 8-point game. St. Louis Park will take a timeout. I don't think they had any 20-second timeouts, so they have to take a full one here.
Yeah.
80-72.
Well,
Great job by the Hawks to get back in this game.
Yeah, they didn't give up, and
you know, they've had an uphill battle too because they played without Nathan Hill and Bijan Newbern. Those are guys that, you know, that's taken 31 points out of your, scoring, your lineup, and some of the other guys have done a really good job in there.
well, I think it's tough because when you get behind, you got to be more aggressive. Every time they're aggressive, they foul and they get 2 shots, so they're up against that too. So St. Louis Park, I think, could have done a better job. They held that at 4 minutes. They started trying to go into that kind of semi-delay thing, and that took them out of its rhythm too. I think they might, hopefully, if they learned the lesson, maybe to keep running that offense to get down to 1 or 2 minutes. 4 minutes is a long time in high school basketball.
Also, some of the fouls that they had on the other end when they were, looked like Cooper was really in more foul trouble than St. Louis Park, but the Orioles started picking up fouls in a hurry down on the other end with a big lead, and I think...
I think they had 4 fouls when you said that, and they had, how many they got now? They probably had 6 or 8 fouls. With the lead, you don't want to give away points without the clock moving.
Down to 45 seconds. This is Newbern. Orioles playing good defense to make them take time off the clock. Newbern doesn't get it to go. Mayfield, and it's Oriole basketball. So now the Orioles will bring in Whitlock and Morrow. A couple of their better free throw shooters, I think, coming into the game.
Yep.
They got to get the ball in, and they do. Here's Whitlock into the front court.
Seconds left.
Ray Whitlock is only 2 of 5 from the free throw line. See if he can put a couple in to maybe ice this one here.
Yeah, it's always a debate to shoot the guy that's hot in the game or shoot well in the season. So I think he'll settle down.
14 points in the game for Ray.
Yeah, not a lot of outside shooting, so you really didn't get to see that tonight from either team either.
Newbern. Were they going to call this a block?
No fouls means don't try to step in and take a charge. With 24 seconds left and you're up by 10 points.
Right, you got to just let them go.
The clock runs and the whole thing, there's several reasons why.
23 points in the game for New Bern.
But that's what's good about playing in games like this is now hopefully each team can learn from some of this stuff that's going on.
A lot of pressure put on and quick foul in the backcourt.
There's a quick 4 or 5 fouls there until they called it. I don't know what the refs knew they were going to foul. They should just blow the whistle. And that's how trouble usually starts at the end of games too.
Joey Whitlock at the line to shoot 2.
So Joey Whitlock now to the line. Normally say it's a good thing the Orioles are not in the 1-1, but they've missed their second ones too here.
They're shooting some free throws in practice here. It's a home. When you're at home, you shouldn't be missing that.
8-point Oriole lead with 22 seconds to go.
That's what you do is step out of the way. Perfect. Make them use their timeouts. See, they had to use their last timeout, I think.
So a 6-point game, 15.6 seconds to go. It's not like the NBA where you can't advance the ball to half court. So we'll see a lot of pressure put on by Cooper trying to get a steal here.
Nice attendance for the game tonight. I've been to some high school games, so they haven't had many people here. The stands are pretty full. It looks nice. Not one of the days back in the late 70s when it was full, and they had stands underneath the bleachers. They made the kids sit in.
Right. And then slow down a little bit until the girls started getting into the, their teams. The late 80s, early 90s. And I'll send Ray Whitlock to the line. Scoring the game for the St. Louis Park Orioles, Michael Howard. The leading scorer is 16 points. Ray Whitlock, he has 15. Joey Whitlock with 9. Mayfield 8. Josiah Morrow 7. Lynch 6. Dahmers 3. Anderson 2. Green 1.
Pretty balanced scoring, and they played the substitute who played a lot of minutes, not just playing, but they play a lot of minutes, so that's good.
$17 tonight for Whitlock, 85-77. Floater not good. Whitlock with the rebound. Mayfield. And the Hawks they don't call the foul, and that's the buzzer.
Would have added to maybe a record of fouls, but
that's one time they let them play tonight.
a lot of stoppages. Good game by St. Louis Park, though. They played really good. They stayed under control. 85 points.
Nice game tonight for Melvin New Bern. Again, when you have a couple of your main guys out, sometimes it's hard for one of your better players to still be able to score, because Orioles know that Melvin New Bern's the guy we got to just watch for now, and he was still able to come up with 26 points in the game. So.
Yeah, and a lot of them were just hustle and effort, which is good to see, because when you're down by 20, you can pack it in if you want, but he didn't, and they actually made a little run. They made things a little nerve-wracking there. That was good.
But a great team effort by the St. Louis Park Orioles, and that's what it is. You saw the Orioles. There are a number of times when they had an opportunity to just take the shot, one person coming in taking the shot, but on those 2 or 3 on ones, they're not selfish. They pass the ball, they look for the open player, and that's able to get some easier shots, the layups right.
Yeah, a lot of times it's just one pass. It's when he's going to the basket, he laid it up, and they got the layup. So that's one pass is all of the extra thing. It's not 3 or 4 passes. It's just one pass and right to the basket. It was nice.
So the win for St. Louis Park puts them at 12-4. I think they're 13-4, but the Cooper Hawks, they are now 10-2. So for St. Louis Park, they move up to the top of the Metro West Conference with a 4-1 record. Cooper now is 3-1. So that was a big win for the St. Louis Park Orioles.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you play for, is to get in first place in your conference, and then regions and then state. That's the 3 areas. So if you can win one of them, it's great.
Well, the last game, St. Louis Park won 85-75, this time 85-77, beating Benilde and Cooper in back-to-back games. It was a great 2-game stretch for the St. Louis Park Orioles. Greg, I want to thank you for joining me on last-minute notice, and you did a great job, and hopefully we can work together again.
Yeah, it was a pleasure, Bruce. We go way back, and it was fun.
So on behalf of Greg Thurston, I'm Bruce Oberman saying so long from St. Louis Park. The final score, the St. Louis Park Orioles 85, the Cooper Hawks 77.